That's so funny. Ceci is so mad at her. Ceci's mad at her because of some casting choices she made in college, but mm-hmm. I think she was mad about Radium Girls. Well, because she wasn't originally cast in that show. You remember when Haley? I think her name was Haley. She dropped out. She played Madame Curie. Then Ceci joined that cast, but anyways, I don't really think it's bad beef. I think Ceci is just a little salty. But that was fun. Radium Girls was a fun show. I don't know if Devin has fond memories of it, but that honestly was probably the hardest role I've ever played. Was playing Arthur Reader because it's so very different than the roles that I was cast in. So was an eccentric. I just remember the NAU adjudicator for the KCCTF. She was like, "You did a fantastic job. I just didn't believe anything you said." And I was like, "Oh, okay, thanks." She was like, but that makes sense, right? Like, you shouldn't have experienced any of the heartache that he's experienced. And I was like, you already said what you said, ma'am. It was funny because I was in Christmas Carol at CGCC years later, and she was the same adjudicator that came for that one too. She did not remember me, which makes sense. She didn't believe me the last time, so I that was probably the worst adjudication experience I'd had. All the other ones are pretty good. I mean, but I also felt like, and I could be biased, but I felt like we put on some really good work at EA. Like I felt like we did some really good shows and did really good things. But despite my feelings towards Dr. Bishop, he was a very good teacher. Like he taught me solfege, and I will always have to attribute that to him, even if I think his personality is ass. But he, ironically, his first year of teaching was my dad's senior year because he taught at my dad's high school. That was his first teaching gig. I have a yearbook of him in it, of my dad's. It's completely unintentional, but Dr. Bishop was so he had MS, and I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna sound really mean, but he probably deserved it. Um, he was one of the most conceited, narcissistic men I've ever met. Like, had his own quotes up on the wall. He created his own cult while up at EA. Like, I would say that his tactics were very cult-like mind washing tactics. His quotes weren't even good though. It would be things like, when you kiss music, it kisses you back better. Like, oh, hey, we got a $5 show while we were up there, so he felt like he knew how everything worked in the world, and if you did not agree with his personality or his point of view, like, he sued the college when he got MS to put in wheelchair ramps in this, like, 60-year-old building. Now, given it probably deserved to have wheelchair ramps, but, like, he actually filed the lawsuit because it wasn't gonna happen fast enough. Like, Steven hated working with him because he would, like, make his life living hell. What? Be blessed. Nobody liked working with him when he was a department chair, or when they were department chair. Like, 'cause he was just he would never file his receipts, or he would never do anything, like follow the appropriate paperwork and stuff. He just, I mean, I'm also pretty biased because he said some pretty awful things to me in my time while I was in that program, both before my mission and after my mission. But yeah, I just not a big fan of him. But the one thing I couldn't deny was that he definitely knew choral conducting and music, and he was very good at getting what he wanted out of you. But it was kind of like, what? They looked like wings. He, yeah, I was gonna make one other comment, but essentially he just was a very, especially the older he got and the worse his MS got, he was a very embittered man. So yeah, yeah. This was in college. Yeah, but he would have, and now he didn't start this, so I can't really like say that this was 100% his idea, but over the drinking fountain, there was a placard of every single person who had gotten married as a result of being in choir. And so the guy who started it, his name was Dr. Lunt. His name was Dr. Lunt, and he had like just a couple of names up there. But the rest of them were all Bruce's kids. And it was funny because I was dating somebody at the time, and that relationship dissolved. And there was another group of kids named Becca and Javi who were also dating at the time, and he pre-made plaques for us. Like, I hadn't even proposed or I haven't done anything, but he was like so convinced that me and this girl and Javi and Becca were gonna get together that he pre-made plaques. So I want to find those plaques. I'll share one other story because this is my favorite story about him. So obviously everybody in the department hated him, and it was one night after Fall Sing that it was one night after the musical, and there was 2 weeks before Fall Sing, but he insisted that we had to have the stage cleared and struck. Typically when we strike a show, we do it during work study hours because a bunch of the work studies work in the shop and everything like that, and so we can tear it down. But he was so insistent that closing night we had to do it, so we stayed till like 2 in the morning to do it. And my director was super mad and he was like walking down the hallway, and I had the master key, and he's like, Tyson, you should just go piss in his office. You should just go do it. And so he was being like, he was joking, but I went and I did it. So and then everybody else in the department found out about it, like the fine arts department found out about it, and they were very happy that I went and did that. Like, this man was not liked by anybody. So, except for the cult of students that he gathered. It technically wasn't in his office. It was in that little doorway between, you know, how when you walk into the choir room, there's that, like, I don't know, I'll call it a mud room or whatever, but like that little section between the actual classroom and the outside building. Yeah, so it was the one that was in the choir room, and I pissed in that, but so that was probably the most badass thing I felt like I'd ever done in college. I remember coming home that night and like being very proud of myself. It was very not like, I mean, everybody that knew me in college, that was not my personality trait at all. So no. Eastern Arizona College in Thatch Nasty. So surprisingly enough, that auditorium is gorgeous. It's like an 800 to 1,000 seater, beautiful fine arts auditorium. I mean, it was like built in the 60s, but really beautiful space. Well, Mormons like to perform, so I would say, I mean, let me put it this way: they cut the sports programs before they cut the fine arts budget. So, that being said, when all of Maricopa County school systems decided to get rid of football, it was very easy for them to make that decision because they were a terrible football team. I re- I don't know. I just remember every time it was a run play, they'd have one quarterback in, and then when the other quarterback came in, it was always a pass play. So the defense always knew whether or not it was going to be a run or a pass, and just being like, "This is a terrible team." LOL. I will say maybe deserved it isn't necessarily an appropriate thing, but the way I always thought about it was the manifestation of his inward ugliness. But we will. I don't even think it was the MS that made him monstrous. I just think that that's his corrosive personality. But I've said a lot of things that'll get me sued. So let us tally forth. Exactly. Till we get famous and big, and then they go on. Delete the original campaign. Oh, that's funny. All right. To be fair, I thought he was already dead. So the fact that he's still alive is very. That ego. Can't fit that in a coffin. Dakin, you're more connected than all of us in this. Still kicking. Oh, you didn't go to Mormon college, you. Let's not do EA though. I would rather go to Green River than go to EA. But no, Dakin, Ian, and Devin and I all went to college together, and then Danny and I grew up together doing theater shows and stuff. Technically, Devin and I did a few shows too because we were in the same area when we grew up. But okay, Pacific Northwest guy, go back to your mold. All right, we're gonna do the recap. Simon. So he missed the unicorn experience. He missed Will of the Feywild. Yeah. No, that's great. Is there anything else anybody else wants to add? Displacer. I will probably soon enough. So, w- so we find you all returning to the treehouse inside. You all gather in, and you see that everyone else has kind of gone to bed. And as you enter the room, Alco shoots up straight as an arrow. Eyes locking immediately upon you, Huxley. You see Huxley drinking out of his horn that you have acquired. You are literally about to take a long rest. We'll say it's been about 72 hours. Feywild. I told you guys, you are gonna go to the goblin market, okay? And you're gonna wait there. And then when my people go make a distraction at the scarecrows and all the goblins and the boggles and the tin soldiers and the red caps all descend upon my people, you guys can get in there, rescue whoever you need to, and then I'm gonna rescue the rest of the kids, and then we're all gonna make it back to the treehouse before dinner. You gotta talk to Chucklehead to get inside the Loom Lurch. If you don't get inside Loom Lurch, the Goblin Market's outside Loom Lurch. I don't. Why aren't you understanding? No, no, no. Here's what it is. Okay. Bobby, Sloan, Zenner, and Star will creep through the woods to the west of the tree and hide just out of sight of the screaming scarecrows. Meanwhile, I'm gonna sneak around to the entrance in the kitchen. You guys are gonna enter the Goblin Market, posing as travelers, purchasing some sweets, and you're gonna arrange a meeting with the hag. During the meeting, my guys are gonna alert the scarecrow, so you're distracting Scabatha. And then, once we free everybody, we GTFO and get some bread. Get the fairy out of there. At what point are we what? No, you're not turning into Scarecrow. She's got Scarecrow guards outside. The only Why don't you ask your own Scarecrow? And he points over at Clapperclaw in the corner, who's just sitting there, clicking his hands together. This is a god. And he shakes his head, and you hear jiggling inside. I was a Scarecrow, though. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm more than a Scarecrow. I'm a god, too. I used to have magnificent antlers. Master, are we gonna get my head back? If you... if you get the portrait inside Loomlurch, maybe the hag in Downfall will give you my head back. Yeah, go ahead. You can have a long rest, but you find that you are in the middle of the woods. Make a survival check for me. She. Perfect. You all are going to go to sleep, and when you wake up, you will now all have reached level 5. Yeah, you did. So we'll take a few minutes to go ahead and level up your characters. You'll want to before you decide to go tally hoing into a hag lair. Oh. Yeah. Hold on. It's not on the floor anymore. Now I can think about Ian as Dr. Bishop right now, so thanks. Dude, that was a really fun year that we went on tour and we won that all those awards and stuff. Oh, is this the last stop of that tour? That tour or the tour after, Dr. Bishop tried to get me expelled from the school, but Dawn saved my ass. Well, I mean, I wasn't even doing anything wrong, but I was doing tech at the time, and somebody on school said that one of the tech guys was smoking and he had a beard. There was like 5 of us that had a beard, but Dr. Bishop tried to pin it on me that I was outside smoking, which I don't even smoke tobacco. And I fortunately was super sick, and my job on tour was to set up the snake, and then afterwards I curled up in the fetal position next to Dawn, who was the head of the AV department, and Dawn vouched for me and said, "No, that kid was hugging a trash can next to me the entire show. He couldn't have been the one smoking." But oh yeah. It was at a high school campus, which is illegal. So we were on tour at a high school, and that was the thing. But also, it was a Mormon-esque college, so it 100% could have been trying to get me expelled just because I was sinning. So, uh, man, so many memories now are coming back at that time. I thought I had repressed them. Oh, oh. They are now. I EA is an interesting time because I did so much growth and development there, but it was also probably some of my darkest days were spent at that school. So, yeah. So that kind of cool. Well, so I did Ian. I'm a few years older than Ian, so I did a year of school before I went at EA, and that was still kind of a growth experience. And then I went on a Mormon mission, came back, decided to leave the church, started dating this girl. Uh, Things in that relationship didn't go very well. It was a very traumatic experience for me, and just a lot of stuff happened. But all that coinciding at once. But yeah, that was about the time I broke away. You're aware? I was gonna say I'm aware. I didn't drink that night, but I do think that's the night I lost my virginity. So ironic. Oh, I am aware. We can't know what your deception is. You're deceiving us. You get 2 actions. You did Arcane Trickster when we did Strahd. I don't know if you kept the same one. Ian and I were in a D&D group. Oh, sorry, you go, Danny. I love rogues. Ian and I are one of our first Dungeons and Dragons campaigns. We were in Colorado, and I played a rogue, and I pissed everyone off in that group. But I played a very classical rogue, and that does not do well with party dynamics. So oh, I know what you're talking about. Wes, yeah. All right. Have we all leveled up? Level 5? It depends, but there are a lot of fake creatures that are, but it doesn't mean that just because you're a fake creature you're automatically immune to such things. You almost played her this campaign. All right. As you all awake in the morning, you find that the treehouse is completely empty, and that there's a note from Will of the Feywild saying, "Went ahead. We'll synchronize our watches," and he has a hand drawn watch. We attack at 10 a.m. essentially. It's like 6ish. We'll say it's early dawn. Like the sun is just peaked up over the. You have enough time to go to Loomlurch and to go to the market and do a few things there before you feel like the plan's going to proceed forward. As go ahead and make a perception check for me. Make a survival check for me. Yeah. You look out into the distance and you see parts of the forest that are lively and uh, teeming with life, but you see there's definitely large portions of the forest. In fact, I'd say about at this point 60% of the forest that just seems black and decayed. On the horizon, you don't see any balloons and you don't see any bullywugs, but you do get the sense that things might still be transpiring. Do you want to cast Find Familiar? Yeah, you can have time to cast Find Familiar. Megan, what did you roll? You're able to find some small rabbits and squirrels to feed Juniper. Hmm. What did you? It's very, in fact, it's kind of a gruesome sight to watch this owl bear just swallow these animals whole. A few hours later, too, you notice small little pellets. So the arm that you fed of the orc last night is just bone sitting in the corner of where Juniper is nesting. What do you want Find Familiar to do, Alco? Master, who is this? Is his name Rocky? He looks like rocks. Oh, it was just a good guess. Is he my master now, too? Oh, yes, Master Rocky. He's gonna go and kiss the feet of Rocky the Imp. Is there anyone else that would like to prepare or do anything before you all head off? All right, well. You all descend from the treehouse and make your way into the direction of Loon Lurch. As you wander deeper and deeper into the forest, you start to see you are heading into some of the worst decay and rot. Just dead trees. It feels very musky and mildewy. And the forest begins to almost like it's under a disease. In fact, the closer you get, the forest is at its darkest here. And up ahead, you see a colossal dead oak that lies on its side. There are 3 living trees that grow out naturally out of its fallen remains. Their shapes resemble towers, with candlelit windows twinkling in the gloom, and wooden balconies encircling gnarled branches on one side of the fallen tree. A firelight spills from a pair of quaint storefront windows, illuminating a clearing filled with merchant stalls. So, as you all arrive here, you find yourself. This is the merchant stalls here as you're coming in through this clearing. Hey, look at that Barovia. Flashbacks. Hold on one second. There we go. You guys all are coming here, and where it's labeled L1 is a pair of gnarled bridges formed by tangled tree roots, spans a rocky and dried up riverbed, leading into here, which are the merchant stalls. As you approach the stalls, you see 3 stalls selling candy. They're situated in a clearing, but lit by widows carved into the giant fallen tree. 2 goblins are working in each stall, and the whole enterprise is watched closely by a goblin with a toffee apple head who appears to be muttering quietly to himself. A toffee apple, something like a candy apple. That's his head. Go ahead and make a dexterity check for me. Yeah, go ahead and also make a dexterity check. You add whatever modifier is next to your dexterity. Myth, what did you roll? Yeah, I'm gonna get him saved. Hey, what are you doing there? As you look over, the goblin looks at you ferociously. No, shh, quiet, quiet. It's okay, it's okay. Wait, why'd you just lick my head? You can't go around licking heads. Yeah, it is very sweet in nature, actually. It tastes quite delicious. In fact, can you roll a d8 for me? Suddenly, your fingers begin to glow with a little purple, and it now leaves anytime you touch anything in an indelible stain on anything you touch. Well, you ate the candy. The candy's got some magical properties. My name's Chucklehead. How can I help you? Yeah, go ahead. Make a dexterity check. He is very able to dodge out of the way. Once was a treat, twice you need to pay. And he sticks out his hand. No prostitution here. In fact, I'd prefer you go to the candy stalls. Lick me again there, sonny boy, and I'm gonna call over the tin soldiers to kick your ass. Shh! Shh! It's okay. I got this handled. I'm not whispering to nobody. I'm talking to my friend here. Well, yeah, I got friends. You see, a few weeks ago, I lost my pumpkin head, and I had to get a new one. And so I put this one on, and a little worm crawled inside, and now he's my friend and talks to me.
Why would you need any of that stuff? Candy's good for you. There's also toys, but we don't really sell those here. Well, you see, Scabatha, she's got a good business going on, right? She keeps all the Feywild creatures happy with the candy, but then she sells the toys to those that are in the Shadowfell to keep children depressed. Yeah, kids eat that shit up over in the Shadowfell. I mean, lots of lucrative business. I don't know. Not here. In D&D lore, you would know the Shadowfell. So if you recall back to Mr. Witch and Mr. Light, they are originally from the Shadowfell. And the Witchlight Carnival was originally from the Feywild realm. So they traded carnivals at one point with the original carnival owner. Yeah. You want to get in touch with Granny Nightshade? Shh. I know, I'll ask him. Why do you want to get in touch with Granny Nightshade? Sorry, say that one more time. What happened? Sorry, I was talking to Megan really fast. What did you ask, Huxley? Oh, yeah, you want to get in touch with Scabatha? Well, I can arrange a meeting with you, but it'll cost you. No, trinkets is the name of the game around here, buddy. What else would be valuable? That's a trinket. I could take your muscles if you want. All right, what else you got to wear? I need a trinket from each of you, or a cherished memory, or I want everyone to roll a D100. So that should be a D10, which is a 0 through 9 on the dice. And then a D100 is the one that looks like it's got percentage markers with 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So roll those at the same time, and then you're going to tell me what numbers you guys get. Okay. Say roll 1D100 on the interwebs, and we'll do the same thing. Okay, I'm going to start with Belly. Belly, what did you say you got? You pull out a toy unicorn made of wood, and it's painted with bright colors. Devin, what did you roll? You pull out a 1-inch square painting of a sleeping elf. River, what did you roll? You pull out a smoking pipe made from a tree root. Ian, what did you roll? 57. You pull out a wooden top with 4 sides, each bearing the image of a child enjoying a different season. Lila, what did you roll? You pull out a chess piece shaped like a dancing satyr wearing a bishop's hat and clutching a gnarled staff. Huxley, what did you roll? You pull out a fake 3-dragon Auntie card depicting a fairy dragon. Oh, I see. A 3-dragon Auntie. So like a 3-card Monty. That's what it's trying to say. Depicting a fairy dragon. Dakin, what'd you roll? You pull out a child's parcel covered in moss and leaves. Is it a parasol or a parcel? Parasol. That's tiny umbrella. Parasol. You pull out a child's parasol covered in moss and leaves. All right. Weird shit, but this will do. And he gathers it all into a bag. All right this way. Before we go, though, anybody want some candy? I really just want my head with the antlers. Billy, make sure you minus good 7 trinkets. Yeah, go up to any one of the candy stalls and they should be able to get you covered here. I'll wait right over here. I know, okay? Gotta make some money too. I don't know, he's eating me from the inside out. There are 3 colored tents, a blue tent, a green tent, and a red tent. Each of the candies are familiar, a little different. They seem to be coated candies of bugs and insects. You've got beetles encased in a hard candy shell, lollipops made from compacted ants, or jellied worms. You've also got honey dipped bees with their stingers still attached. No alcohol here. Scabatha's pretty strict about no drinking on the job. Yeah, but all the kids can't drink. No, we're goblins. All the kids make the candy in the back. Along with the depressing toys. What? Alco, make a Constitution saving throw for me. You are definitely feeling on edge about not drinking, but you are holding it in. We got candy. We got candied apples. Uh, maybe. They're good. If anybody wants a candy, it's one trinket for one bag of candy. You can, but it costs trinkets. Perfect. It costs one trinket, and inside each bag of candy is 2 pieces of candy. Perfect. You get back a fly encrusted lollipop and some beetle Jolly Ranchers. Who else is? There are real beetles inside. I think about like I mean, you guys have probably seen all like the gag gifts or like different candies with insects inside of them or scorpions or yeah, like different things like that. Who else is getting a trinket or getting candy? Excuse me. Flint, you're gonna hand over a trinket. Is it gonna be from your collection or the bag? Perfect. You get some honey dipped bees and some more of the Jolly Rancher beetles. Lila, what are you getting? Are you getting some? I mean, yeah. You get back 2 flying crusted lollipops. Are you all eating the candy that you take? Flint, as you eat the next piece of candy, your fingers. Oh, you're gonna wait? Okay. It is about 9:30 in the morning. Man, you guys are high demand, aren't you? Y'all ready to meet Granny Nightshade? Right this way. And he leads you back over the bridge. And you all follow around another path up over the second bridge and into a chamber that is nestled between walls of twisted roots through gaps in which you can see the eerily beautiful woodland surrounding you. The closed wooden door stands opposite the room, or opposite the root bridge that leads into this room, in the center of which are 4 armchairs encircling a small table laid out for tea. A painted wooden box, 3 feet on a side, 3 feet on each side, is rested in a corner. A crank protrudes from one side of it, causing it to resemble an oversized jack-in-the-box. All right, take a seat here, and Granny Nightshade will be in soon. Okay, thanks. Shh, I know. On the Jack in the Box. Go ahead and make a strength check for me. Yeah, go for it. Fantastic. Give me 1 second. You notice that as Huxley is spinning the Jack in the Box, Lila, that there is an aura of magic. Conjuration. As you start to turn the crank and let it go, it starts to play a musical sound, very reminiscent of a child's melody. Huxley, roll a d8 for me. Yes. What did you roll? Sorry, Huxley. That's exactly what you hear. Um, Suddenly, the lid springs open, and you hear that noise. And as you look and peer inside the box, Huxley, it is empty. Suddenly, the door creaks open, and a little old woman totters forward. She wears a grimy, an old-fashioned shawl, and her skin looks like gnarled bark. A large iron key extends from her back, ticking rhythmically as it rotates. Sit down, children, she says in a voice reminiscent of crunching leaves. Let's have some tea. Now come, be good guests. You wouldn't want to anger me. And as she gets a little bit more furious, you notice that the wind on her back slows down. Make a persuasion check. Are you turning down my hospitality? And as she says this, you notice the wind on her back is almost creeping at a standstill. I offer you tea. You're a little insolent child, aren't you? She sits down. What have you come to pester me about today? Make a deception check for me, Huxley. You notice that the ticking on her back is spinning tick, 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 tick. Why is it that you are really here? I will give you one chance to speak the truth. Oh! And as she says that, you notice that the wine on her back begins to speed up. Yes, we have quite a nice toy selection here. Are you looking to procure one for yourself? No, just for kids. We make quite the hellacious things. And she pulls out what to you looks like one of the most demonic little doll idols that you've ever seen. Its eyes are glowing a deep maroon, blood red. Its face looks entrapped. This one is one we give to little toddlers. As you've had these conversations, Rocky has hopped down and made its way into the home. He describes for you in the next room, it appears to be a workshop where children are working feverishly, making toys and candy and all manner of different objects inside. The lights are flickering though, as you notice there is a couple of small rodents that are running on different wheels that seem to power the electricity in the home that are very tired and worn out. Bum ba dum bum ba. I will let you choose between deception or persuasion. But you have to tell me before you roll which one you're doing. It is, but narratively, it's going to spin how I do this. Would you like to see the operation? As you enter, she gives you all a beckoning to enter into the room. You make your way into the workshop and you see flickering lanterns illuminating a cluttered workshop filled with soft ambient music produced by bells and chimes. Parts of toys are heaped up on the tables, leering dolls' heads, half-built rocking horses, unpainted wooden balls, and stuffed limbs of soft toys. A stove at the back of the room holding a saucepan of smelting metal. 3 doors exit the workshop, and on 2 storefront windows overlook the market outside. And as you enter, you see 3 young children all gathered around a wooden work table. The eldest, a drow boy, prances on the tabletop with a bar of soap in one hand, while a halfling girl and a human girl giggle at his audacity. And what is it that you 3 are doing? You see horror shoot through the eyes of these children. Sorry, Granny Nightshade. We were just having a bit of fun. A bit of fun! And as she yells, she slams the door, and suddenly you see 3 boggles come out from the shadows. These kids scream as the boggles chase them around the shop. Do we know what I'll show you. They look like little demonic elves. Not quite. This is the image that it shows in the book. As they move throughout the shop, they are secreting a black liquid. Ian, make a perception check for me. Yes. Why, yes, thank you. We have to keep the help at hand. And as she does that, she smacks one of the children in the back of the head. They must learn their place. Oh, yes. I steal them from all over the realms. And then, well, steal's a strong word. They are mine, after all lost things at the carnival usually are. And as she says that, the back of her wind gets faster and faster. Oh, yes. And those that are unfortunate enough to wander into this realm unannounced. Oh, we work 24/7 round the clock. Essentially, yes. When a child begins to grow weary and we can't stimulate them, we dispose of them. You see, she says, "Oh, we have quite a few things. Over here is a set of nesting dolls in which each doll looks more frightened than the next. Over on this side over here, we have a stuffed lion with needles for teeth and real blood stains around the jaws. Get those from the children. A toy windmill with a crank on one side that turns the vanes in the millstone. A set of playing cards depicting weeping children. Oh, I think you, Mr. Drunk Face, will like this one. It's a wind-up drunkard doll that totters a few paces and then falls over. This one's a four-fingered puppet depicting an arguing family. They all hate each other. This is a 1-foot wooden guillotine. We sharpen the blades extra sharp before they go out. I hear some children have lost a hand or two. And this one's a tiny wooden box containing 8 sticks of black chalk. It's perfect for your demonic rituals. Oh, we've got quite the assortment here. My mind just keeps ticking. And as she says that, you notice the wind-up toy is really going on her back. Like, she's very excited. Make another Make a persuasion check. Flint, what was the perception check you rolled? You look around the shop and you don't seem to see what you're looking for. A true admirer, I see. Well, wait right here, and I shall bring you back something even more glorious than anything I have in this shop here. Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check for me. Go for it. Make an investigation check for Rocky. Make it a straight roll because I don't believe familiars have a stat block. So just make it a straight investigation roll. So just roll a d20 for me. What was your perception checks, everyone? Sorry. 16 and 18. You look out the window and you start to see in the fields over yonder what seems to be movement. You're uncertain if this is Will and his party, but they are near the scarecrows. You are in the room with the children being berated by the boggles. Yes. Are you gonna go for it? But we can't slow down. If we slow down, the power goes out. If the power goes out, we die. Uh, uh, okay. They start to slow down. They're still moving. They're still scared to death, but they are slowing down. There's 2 currently. Oh yes, yes. There's a whole cage of us in another room. It's up the stairs. It's Granny Nightshade's room. Thank you. Who are you? Yeah, you can send a message. Uh, uh, is Granny Nightshade with you? Are you? Is she with you? No, you need to be with Granny Nightshade. That's like the whole part of the plan. If you're not with you, that she can come out and get us. How many times can you cast a message? Okay. We'll get with Granny Nightshade, let me know, and then we can start the plan. We're waiting. When you say those words, hurt her, suddenly the boggles turn to your attention. Hurt the master! Hurt the master! And they start running outside the room. You can certainly try. I'm double checking a fact right now. They suddenly look at you, and their eyes kind of light up pink. Watch the kids. Watch the kids. Your imp hears a moan and suggests that in an area of the spire. Let me double check that actually. Hold on. Yes, in an area of the spire, of the center spire, seems to be a hallway of portraits. The familiar is uncertain of what that is. As an action, you can see what they see. But during this time, you are deaf and blind. As you begin to go into a trance, suddenly your eyes open and you see the world through a purplish hue. You see a room that has 3 doors and wood-carved staircases that ascend to a higher level. The walls are a dense tangle of tree roots and brambles, nestled among which are 5 animated portraits. One of a svelte, dark-haired woman, and the others depicting a truly ancient and terrifying hag, a toadish hag, a skeletal hag wearing a black theatrical contraption resembling a dress, a hag with a wind-up key in her back and 1 empty eye socket and a wooden eye held in her hand, and the other of a svelte, dark-haired woman with a commanding presence. Do you remember? You're going to have to choose a portrait to take then. Can you make a history check for me, though? The dark-haired woman that looks the most normal of all of the hags gives you a resemblance of something you've seen at the Witchlight Carnival. As it reaches and reaches for the Witchlight Carnival portrait, it pricks itself on the brambles, and suddenly your familiar disappears. Are you with the hag? Charge! And suddenly you hear the scarecrows start to scream from outside. So you guys are in this room here. The room in which Dakin's familiar was in was up here. So you still need to, if that's where you're trying to go, proceed that direction. She went through this doorway here. But with that, we're going to take a 15-minute break. We'll be back at 9:20. It's going to be great. So much fun. Okie we back. Ian, is that Stanley? Can you hear me? That's good. Ian, are you drinking out of a Stanley cup? Not Stan Lee, the Marvel creator, but Stanley, the white girl bitch cup. Just kidding. I love good Stanley. Oh, you should see Megan's collection. She's got a whole curio cabinet filled with them. I don't even know if Megan knows the count she has. I'm a Dunkin' man myself. I like the sugar. Yeah, pretty much. As a Mormon boy, it was not an acquired taste. Well, it also a lot of the people that work in the in-store ones don't work for Starbucks. They work for Safeway or Fry's or whatever. Yeah. No, 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 no. A grocery store. So for you, it would be Kroger up in the Pacific Northwest. For us in, yeah, but it's not as fun as QFC is. We had one. Well, they went under during the pandemic, but we also had a Fry's Electronics, and it was sick. That's where I bought my PC case from back in the day. We used to get confused though because it's called Fry's, but yeah, no, in like Arizona, Oklahoma, and something else, Kroger calls their grocery stores Fry's. What is it? Is Shopco still up there? Yes. What is it? QFC that I'm thinking of that is like kind of like a mini Costco, but you don't get as much bulk stuff. It's more or less like they just sell a bunch of like. No, not Winco. I knew that one. That one's like a mini Costco too. Fred Meyer. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah. That's a way better analysis. Is an upscale Target. So Fry's is kind of like the grocery side of Fred Meyer. I would say that I consider Safeway worse in quality than Fry's, but that's just Arizona Fries. I cannot speak to other Safeways. I mean, they could always be in bed together, but Kroger does indeed own Fry's. All I know is that we have really two choices, and one of those is Walmart. So do we have any choice at all? Speaking about the illusion of choice, you find yourselves trying to choose the illusion of choice in this factory. Just kidding. I was trying to tie it in. There's lots of choices you can make. Um, yeah, you guys hear screaming scarecrows, and you guys burst into this next room here, L7. As you enter in, you see 10 brightly painted structures resembling little wooden houses lining the walls of this room. Each small house has a 3-foot high hinged door. 4 of the doors are open, and 6 of the doors are closed. A narrow staircase ascends the circular wall. Near the foot of the stairs, a painted wooden box, 3 feet on each side, and a crank is protruding from the side, considerably resembling an oversized Jack in the Box, similar to the one that you saw before. You also noticed little swords scattered about the floor. Steel swords. But they seem to be those of a halfling or gnome size, not necessarily something that a human would pick up and call a sword. Go ahead. As you are perceiving, you bump into one of the closed doors. And suddenly you hear a ticking sound. The door has no windows. Oh no. Sorry, I ripped my book a little bit, and I'm just a little sad about it. But it was my book to begin with. But thank you. Give me just a second, and I will. There we go. As you are standing there, you hear a click, and suddenly the door opens, and a tin soldier bursts out. I need each of us to make an initiative roll. No. As you run upstairs, Ian, you find a dormitory nestled in trees, a tree burrow as it round windows overlooking a wooden balcony. Lining the walls are 10 child-sized bed bunks outfitted with patchwork quilts and straw-stuffed pillows. A young male dwarf lies in one of the bunks, coughing and drenched in sweat, while an older lad mops his brow with water from a bucket. 2 doors exit the room, one leads to the balcony and the other deeper into the tree. One child in there. A 10-year-old hill dwarf and a 12-year-old looking male human. It's my friend, though. Potter, I don't think he can move. I need help. He's poisoned. Do you have anything that can heal him? As you touch him with the unicorn horn, he begins to be brought back to life. You see the color in his cheeks begin to swell back. Oh, thank you. My name's Pod. Oh, how can we ever repay you? Oh, those rat cages are kept in Scabatha's room. It's in the deepest tower in the whole tree. I know a shortcut though to get to her. I do. Give me a second while the DM finds where the shortcut's listed. I just saw it a second ago. Good job. 10 out of 10. All right. Well, you're gonna have to get the keys from Scabatha. But if you can, what you can do is if you climb out the window of the kitchen, located here in number 13, and climb up this tree branch, you can hop onto a windowsill. Well, no, all the doors are locked. In fact, you're going to have to find keys to get to the rest of the building. Scabatha has a giant key ring on her that's got keys to the whole lot. Everyone else, I need to know what your initiative numbers are. Let's do it this way. I need a 20 to 25. So you guys ran into this room here, Dakin. You were in this room. Your familiar made his way into this room here. So as you get to this door, you notice that it is locked. So you cannot proceed forward. So I'm going to need for you to roll initiative as well. All right. Anybody 20 to 25? 15 to 20. 10 to 15. You rolled a 16? Okay. Who else has... Who's got a better dexterity? Give me your actual number. Okay, I'll go. And then Belly. 5 to 10. 0 to 5. I'm missing somebody. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, Flint. Flint, what did you roll? He's not, but go ahead and roll for initiative because you're going to be coming down to the same room. You got an 18? Okay. You won't be in this round, but when you come down you will be. It's rogues that are It's that rogue magic. That's what gets him to go fast. All right. Up first is going to be the Tin Soldier, and it's going to see you, Belly, because you just knocked into it. And he's going to make a attack at you. He's going to try and slam you down to the ground. That is a 22 to hit. That is 6 points of bludgeoning damage. Yes. Sure. Go ahead. To hit? You miss. Belly, that's another 22 to hit as it's going to take another attack at you. There's going to be 7 points of bludgeoning damage. Up next is River. Saving. Okay. Hold on, let me see if it hit. What is your charisma score? Yeah. Oh yeah, it fails. So go ahead. It takes 10 points of damage. Yes. No, it takes 10 points of damage. As you see it kind of glitch out for a second there. Huxley, you're up next. That hits. Go ahead and take damage. Perfect. That does not hit. And up next is Alco. You are in this room right here, L7. And currently there is one tin soldier. But as you guys entered the room, you noticed that there was 4 open doors and 6 closed doors, and now a 5th door has opened. So there are 4 other closed or 5 other closed doors. Currently. He's wielding no weapon currently. Go ahead. That does not hit. As you cast the Eldritch Blast, the automaton moves out of the way. Belly. Go for it. Fantastic. Humphrey. I would say you could probably close 1 door per action. Dash is like more of a distance thing than it is like because you have. So technically in combat, 1 action is supposed to be about 6 seconds, and so I would imagine it takes you about 6 seconds to get to a door and to close it. Perfect. You go and you close the empty door. Up next is Lila. I think you are muted. What did you get? Until your rage ends, you are surrounded by multicolored protective lights, and you gain a +1 bonus to your armor class. And while within 10 feet of you, your allies also get the same +1 bonus. So everybody gets to add a +1 to their armor class. Go for it. To hit. That hits. You see as Lila runs up and just in the most severe rage just beats this thing into smithereens. Gears are flying, metal is dented. This thing is in so many pieces. And just as the construct is destroyed, Flint, you walk down to see the horrors of everything massacred. And suddenly you notice as the closed doors all swing open and 5 other tin soldier constructs enter the conflict. Yeah, you could take another one attack at you. That one. Go for it. You took when you were Sergey, you did Polearm Master. Was that what it was? Yeah. To hit, you miss wide. Go for it. 17 does not hit. Nineteen hits. You beat this thing, and it is kind of glitching out just a little bit, but it is still up. I have advantage on you. Okay, cool. Flint, you are up next. These are also not considered creatures. It is not a humanoid. It is a construct. You're so excited. As you throw the smoke bomb, it begins to fill the chamber with smoke, and everyone, including the constructs, is now considered blinded. Up next is River. You are now blinded by smoke. What vision do you have? Is it Devil's Eyes? You do have dark vision, but you had another thing I thought. I'm gonna look it up really fast. I'm trying to see what he took. Hold on. No, yeah, you have Eldritch Spear and Beguiling Influence. Um, yeah, you cannot see any better or worse than anybody else in the room. Technically 10 minutes, so that's 100 rounds. Your hex is gone because the one that you hexed is dead. You could, yes. I will say that. Yeah, sure, you could do a concentration check, but let's wait for your turn. It is River's turn currently. Yeah, let's go for it. Let's figure it out. Yeah. Yep. I say forward because in my mind the cube is moving forward like a wave. Regardless, I need Belly, I need Lila to make a Constitution saving throw. Go ahead and roll the hit for me, though. What is Luby doing to give you advantage? No. What is your charisma score, Dakin? Wait, isn't that your spell casting? It's cool. Yep, it's 18. All right, anybody who got below an 18, you are going. Oh, River, what is yours? What is your charisma score? It would just be 17. So anybody below 17, you guys are going to take 2d8 damage. So you guys are going to take 7 damage. Yeah, you're going to take half that. So you're going to take 4 damage. I don't believe so. His spell DC is his charisma. Do you just not want it to be? All right, let me take a look. I still don't think this is going to change Belly's because I doubt his is a 6, but I'll take a look. I got everybody yelling at me. Give me a second. I'll figure it out. Where is the rest of this character sheet? Yeah, you get slammed up against the wall. Lila, you also are going to get slammed up against the wall. All right, your spell save DC is 14. So anybody below a 14 takes 7 points of damage. Anybody who below a 14 takes 8 points of damage or 4 points of damage. Fortunately for you, all of the toy soldiers are going to get pushed back up against the wall and take 7 points of damage. Pretty much. Yeah. So you would take half of the damage as well. So you would take 4. What was that, Huxley? Just the people I named, because everybody else is behind River in my mind. Oh, actually, Huxley, you did make an attack on one of the tin soldiers, so you need to make a Constitution saving throw. They are slammed up against their doors. So you are only going to take, Huxley, 4 points of damage. So the only people who are pushed are the toy soldiers and Belly. Everyone else stands their ground and just takes 4 points of damage. And up next is Huxley. You don't know. It is still covered in smoke. So you can attack, but it would be with disadvantage, is basically how it's going to work. As you do, go ahead and roll for damage. And I'm gonna have you flip a coin. 4 is gonna, or heads is gonna be Belly, and tails is gonna be Lila. So Lila's gonna take 4 points of slashing damage. It would be 2 for you because you are still raged. Up next is going to be the Tin Soldier, and it too is going to try and make an attack at Lila, but it misses. And as it does, it slams into the wall and its head explodes, killing it. The other automaton soldier is also going to make an attempt. And it's going to try and hit Lila. And that is a... Do I get advantage or disadvantage on you? Yeah, that would be fair. All right, it's going to be a 19 to hit. All right, perfect. It's going to be 5 points of bludgeoning damage. Yes. All right. Up next is Alco. There is the door behind you. There is the stairs above you. There is a window at the very, very top of the tower. Currently, yes. You need to wait until either is it a short rest or a long rest? Correct. Correct. You wouldn't be able to get above the smoke because the gas is expanded to fill the chamber. The ceilings in this room are about 8 feet high. Yeah, go ahead and roll a dexterity check with disadvantage to see if you can find the door. See which one's worse. You are unable to find the door. You are just kind of feeling around the wall. Up next is Belly. They rolled a 7, so they are now lit up in blue. You are not creatures. It lights up objects, so the Jack in the Box is lit up blue. The toy constructs are lit up blue. And that's about it in this room. However, you cannot tell what is the Jack in the Box or what is the constructs. I mean, I guess you could sit there and observe, I guess, but there's nothing. Then you also see your allies lit up in blue, and you are unable to distinguish who is who. Go ahead, roll at disadvantage. It does not hit. Up next is the Tin Soldier. It's going to try and actually attack Huxley this time. That is a 12 to hit. +1 because Lila is still raging. Cool, so that misses. The next construct is going to try and hit you. You want to repose it? Yes, go for it. Make a straight roll because it's tried to attack you. You've identified where it is. That hits. Go ahead and roll for damage. Yeah, you do quite a number on this construct. It is still up and alive, but it is sparking heavily. The next soldier is going to try and make another attack at you. And it too misses. Perfect. Up next is Myth. Go ahead and roll an investigation check for me. Yeah, you're able to find the door that leads back into the workshop. There's also a staircase that leads upstairs. You could try and proceed forward, but you would have to make your way through the constructs and they'd have an attack of opportunity against you. And the door is locked. Perfect. You dash up the stairs and you find yourself in. Oh, what did I do here? How do I make it turn again? There we go. You find yourself in the room of the barracks with the two children that we saw earlier. But we'll wait to see what you want to do with that in just a minute. Okay, up next is the Tin Soldier. It's going to try and make another attack against Lila. Ooh, it misses. And Lila, it is your turn. You're muted again. It is glowing blue. Go ahead. You don't need to roll for disadvantage. It does not hit. That hits. Yeah, you again smash this soldier to smithereens as sparks and things are flying. And you guys all notice that creature that was once lit up blue is no longer lit up. Go for it. There are definitely blue things around you, but you are unsure which is friend or foe, so go ahead and roll with disadvantage. Okay. Up next is Flint. Yes, I will say, but you'll have to make an investigation check. But you cannot do a pick. You could not pick the lock this turn. Does that make sense? Yeah, you make it to the other side and you find the locked door with the keyhole jammed. Fantastic. River, you are up next. You could send a message. It's one person, I believe. Is it the cantrip message that you're trying to use? Yeah. Okay. River, you're up next. Go ahead and roll with disadvantage. So you'll roll twice and take the lower of the numbers. You miss, and instead what you hit was one of the barrack stations of the tin soldiers, we'll say. Okay, up next is Huxley. There are, just for your record, 3 tin soldiers left. They are still next to you. One is badly damaged and one is not. If you're trying to attack them, you can just make straight rolls. There is no advantage or disadvantage. Okay. Correct. That hits. Go ahead and roll for damage. Yeah, you are able to knock the head clean off of this tin soldier. Go for it. That hits. Go ahead and roll for damage. 8 points of damage. You get a nice clean blow on this thing, but it is still up and moving. Yeah, you could totally do that. It just means that you would forego your actions. So you would use your action surge, which gives you an extra action. You're sacrificing that action to, as a bonus action, inform your friend to hit them, and then they can immediately take an attack. Go ahead, Lila, and you're going to roll to hit, and you don't need advantage or disadvantage. It would just be a straight roll. Just a straight attack roll because it's a reaction. You still get your rage bonus and everything, though. That hits. Go ahead and roll for damage. Yeah, you again see sparks and bolts and metal all flying through the air as Lila yet again destroys another automaton. There is one automaton left. And it is Alco's turn. No, it lasts 100 rounds. No, they ran up the stairs. You are able to identify that enemy with hex. So you can roll a straight roll. You don't have to worry about advantage or disadvantage. Are you going to do Eldritch Blast? Straight roll to hit. That hits. They can take necrotic damage, yes. It does not say they're immune to it, so I'm going to assume they can. You do quite a number on it, but it is still up and kicking. And it is Belly's turn. It slams up against the wall. Go ahead and healing ward yourself. What I'm going to allow you to do is hold your action, and when I'm going to assume Flint goes to pick the lock, you will make a sleight of hand roll as well and see whatever. I'll treat your roll as a modifier roll. Does that make sense? All right. Up next is the Tin Soldier. It's going to try and slam back into Huxley. And I'm pretty sure it's going to fail. That is a 12. Hux. Okay. And up next is Myth. You find yourself in a dormitory-like room, and inside are two what seems to be scared boys huddling in the corner. One is a human, and the other is a dwarf. Are you guys the ones fighting downstairs? Are you gonna hurt us? They hug each other a little tighter. You want us to go downstairs? Are you gonna hurt us if we don't go downstairs? Make an intimidation check. They bolt and take off running down the stairs. Up next is Lila, and as you guys are preparing to fight Lila, you just hear two boys screaming as they're running down the stairs. There is one more, and it is near Huxley, and I guess you by default. Go ahead. You get to add whatever your max axe is plus whatever you roll. So is it 12 that you roll a d12? So you get to add 12 to whatever your normal attack roll is going to be. Plus your great weapon master. There is nothing left of this automaton. It had 5 health points left. And it is just dust. You still see nothing. It is still covered in smoke. Fantastic. Flint, go ahead and make your sleight of hand check, and Belly, make one as well. I'm assuming you guys are going to want to try and pick that lock. So Belly or Ian, you're going to add +5 to your roll. You know, it is one of the most complicated locks you have ever come across. But with your skill and with Belly aiding you, she's specifically holding a pick in place as you kind of maneuver around. You guys are able to maneuver and unlock this door. And suddenly, as the door opens, the smoke is cleared out of the room. And that is where we're going to pick it up next week. Good job, you guys. That's okay. All right. So next Sunday, let me just double check the calendar to make sure. Yeah, if that's the case, then we're definitely gonna be open. I'll just double check though to make sure. Yep, we're open. So, we can either play earlier in the day, or I am free pretty much any night this week other than Monday night, but Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So if we wanted to play Tuesday night, Wednesday night, or Thursday night, that is also an option on the table. Gross. This is the principle of the matter. He's got that grind set, okay? He's got to hustle. These streets don't work themselves. Um do we want to try and shoot for noon on Sunday next week? Well, I think we should still get together and play if available with everybody else. You guys want to shoot for noon next week? I don't know what time that is Eastern time. Is it? Are you guys 3 hours ahead of us? Okay. Well, let's plan on for at least this next Sunday. Let's do noon, and then we'll just kind of play it week by week and see where we're at with that. Sound good? The only issue with Saturday night for me is, am I bleeding again? Yeah, it's the haunted house. That's the biggest reason. But we only got to figure out temporary stuff until Halloween's over. So, all right. Well, then let's plan on next Sunday, guys. Thank you guys so much. Talk to you later. Good night.